Yeah, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I made this video already, but it was so frantic and so all over the place. I had to remake it and like have some sort of organization. No 13. But yeah, I had to remake this so it would be actually more viewable and not all over the place. Anyways, I'm back. Hi, here's the video. Listen to Mori, calliope. So I didn't expect a fully faithful adaptation of Devil May Cry when they said we was getting an anime. Just like off the trailer, you could see Dante was doing shit that wasn't really in the third game. So I thought it was gonna be in the manga once I seen the bunny rabbit nigga, because bunny rabbit nigga is only in the manga. Maybe in the old ass anime. I don't know. I can't remember. But when I was watching this, I went in with the thought of like, yo, I'm not gonna see a one-to-one of DMC3. I'm not about to see that. I already thought it was gonna be some different shit, so I was fine with that. But to get it out the way, if you're going into this thinking you're about to see DMC3, DMC4, DMC5, DMC1, DMC2, if you're thinking you about to go into that and see anything like on the lore of the original games, like the DMC games, throw that shit out the window, nigga. I wouldn't even say there was a subtle like line they were trying to go into to make it into like, to tie it into the DMC games. It was just straight up mostly original story with mostly original shit. I want to talk about the positives that I had seen in the anime, then I'm gonna get into the problems and then the negatives. In my profound opinion, my nigga, I think it looks good. I think the anime looks good. I think they did a decent job at portraying Dante's speed. You know what I'm saying? He's zipping and zooming all over the fucking screen when you see this nigga. Blah, 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 this nigga all over the place. I think they did a good job of that. There were some details in there that I thought were interesting, like Dante and Virgil fighting his kids, because you know they said, oh yeah, we used to fight his kids all the time, whatever, nigga. I thought that was interesting. I think they did a good job showing Dante as Dante in here. I think they did a pretty decent job. I was like, yeah, I can see Dante doing this. I can see Dante doing that. I can see Dante doing this and that. Whatever, right? I can see Dante doing that. Same with Lady. I was looking at Lady. I was like, yeah, Lady was like that in DMC3. Yeah, she was very like stubborn. Yeah, I can see Lady doing that. I can see Lady doing this. I can see Lady doing that. There was definitely like they had. I feel like the characters were absolutely the characters that I'm used to seeing. I feel like I was seeing the characters I see in the games. I was like, yeah, I can see that. Except maybe the villains slash enemies a bit different, but hey, get into that later. I feel like I like the side characters, even though I knew, like we all knew, spoilers. We're going into spoilers. It's a spoiler. We all knew that they were gonna die. Cause like, let's be so for real. We seen these niggas like, yo, I thought that niggas was cool. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking with the fucking unit they had walking around with Lady and shit. I was like, this is tough. I fuck with this. But we knew them niggas was finna get slaughtered. Let's be so for real. Them niggas was paperweights. Now let's go on to the.
Come on, Scotty. You gotta pull through. You're my best friend.
Now, I feel like the problems with this is if you were going into this expecting DMC, like expecting DMC from the games or even the manga, then you gonna be disappointed, my nigga. Like, this is its own continuity, its own universe. And honestly, bro, you gotta look at this as, if you're a DMC fan, you're looking at this and you're like trying to relate this to DMC, man, you gotta look at this with a new bite. Like, you gotta think this is a whole different universe, if I'm being so for real. You can't look at this and then be like, oh, Dante and DMC would never, Dante and da-da-da. Like, I genuinely think you gotta put like whole new shades on and look at this as a show by itself. You can't look at this as a DMC kind of adaptation from the games, or you're gonna get kind of mad, I feel like. Cause Dante and Lady, bro, Dante would sweep Lady in a fight, but we seen what happened in the show. She got this nigga in the little tank John, the little truck, and she swept that nigga. Like, she didn't sweep that nigga, like she didn't shit on him, but yeah, she beat Dante. That's never happened before. This isn't a problem, but I like the rocket boots. I like that Lady had rocket boots. I fuck with that. I'm not gonna lie. We gonna need that in the next DMC game. I'm trying to see her kick some shit. I fuck with that. The whole thing about this is it's kind of trying to do DMC3, but kind of not really. It's kind of leading into DMC3. A little mix. Damn, I didn't put this in the plus, but Lady's backstory was kind of nice. But there were some moments where it seemed like they were trying to do certain things that didn't make sense, and some things didn't make sense, like Raccoon City. Like, I know that's kind of like a callback to Dante, originally supposed to be like a Resident Evil character. And I don't know a lot about Resident Evil. I just know Raccoon City, them niggas infested with zombies and shit, and they talking about the Raccoon City job. I was like, well, okay, they got it. Tony Redgrave got it, whatever. But there was Enzo. He's not an issue. I like Enzo, but I'm only familiar with Enzo and Bayonetta. I think there's an Enzo in the DMC manga. I didn't make it far enough to get to Enzo, but I'm only familiar with the nigga in Bayonetta. He died. That sucked. I'm gonna miss you, Enzo. You was kind of cool. I think he might even have the same voice actor that he has from Bayonetta, and he kind of has the same build, except he's blind. So that's interesting. My bad, I gotta focus. They were trying to do, I feel like they were trying to do Trish in a way. Like on the plane when Dante is like throwing people out trying to save people, there's this one girl who, I guess he kind of looked like his mom. She was just blonde for real. But there was this girl who looked like his mom, and he was kind of like reminiscing, having flashbacks, whatever, right? When they're outside the plane and he's saving people, he looks at her, he has a kind of flashback to his mom, and he's like, you're gonna be okay, da-da-da. I was like, are they kind of trying to do Trish right now? I don't know. They could. I feel like they were subtly trying to do Trish. Hey, I'm not the biggest fan of that. And it's just the problems, in my opinion. This isn't a negative per se. Oh, another problem. There's this really big thing with America in this anime. American flags, some very slight political shit. I don't know where this came from. They're talking about the greatest country in the world. They're talking about waging war against the demons. And this is to the point where it's just like, okay, I don't remember none of this happening in any DMC, anything like that. I'm sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was very baffled by that. Not baffled, I guess, but like the president, who isn't in any DMC games, the vice president, plays a big part in this. And I was like, who the fuck is this nigga? Where did he come from? And why is he one of the most important characters? Actually, fuck it, nigga, we jumping to the negatives. I didn't like the whole like big focus on America thing. I don't know where that came from. Big focus on America. They're taking pictures in the demon realm with the flag and shit. They're walking around doing this and that. Da-da-da. They're showing well, I guess they wanted the what's it called? Not the patriotism character, but like the very religious peace. Not peace. Very religious. Like who's that nigga from Far Cry 5? I can't remember, but it's the nigga with the glasses from the beginning of the game. Whatever. He was in a church, but I kind of like that they took the very religious route with this character. Like, okay, DMC has religion and story to a degree, it's heaven and hell, but yeah, it has religion and story, so I can see this character being a character. But I didn't like how there was such a ginormous focus on America, down to the Green Day song. To the Green Day song, what was it, American Idiot? Hey, that was just weird to me. I didn't like how Dante got Sin Devil Trigger before he got normal Devil Trigger. And they were hinting at it. They were like, yo, why couldn't you be one of those superheroes who got wings or something? Da-da-da. And then the nigga got Devil Trigger and he was Sin Devil Trigger. And that threw me. And the reason why that threw me, if you didn't know, no mansplain, my nigga. But normal Devil Trigger, like DMC original Devil Trigger, doesn't have wings or anything like that. Can't fly, at least to my knowledge. Only Sin Devil Trigger can do that. And Sin Devil Trigger is like the more mastered version of Devil Trigger. So to know he started with that, kind of crazy. The Dante in the cryo chamber and being captured, a bit crazy, never happened before. But again, I feel like another issue with this is if you're coming in as a DMC fan who's played the games and you know the lore, then you're going to look at that and be like, man, I don't remember that shit ever happened. There's gonna be a lot of things you're gonna look at and you're like, oh, that never happened. But you can kind of let it slide. You can suspend it. But this is like some key plot shit, some very big plot shit. And like I said, if you're a DMC fan and you're going in expecting the DMC anime, you're going to be disappointed, sad. And it made me think, I was like, yo, why make it DMC if so much of this just isn't DMC story? You could have probably replaced a lot of shit in here with other characters or other things, but if it's not going to be a DMC story related to the games or the manga, and it's a new continuity, why not just make something different is what I was thinking. But hey, honestly, my rating on it as an anime, like by itself, probably 7.5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. It was a cool experience by itself. But as a DMC anime, I might have to give it a 3 because there's not anything to the games here besides like forms, weapons, and characters. The actual story from the games isn't really present here, and I'm not a big fan of that. But hey, honestly, it was alright. It's cool to watch. You should go watch it, form your opinion on it, make a video or something, nigga. I love you niggas. I'm back. Go listen to Mori Calliope and that's
Okay, gotta wait these niggas up right until they melatonin. He tryna dip up by the cut, Brody, where the hell you going? I'm a snake, any niggas never knowing. I got bank, nigga, I might fuck around, make your whole paycheck when I sell a OP plus rank, nigga. Gotta deal with some gloves, no safe sex, hit 'em.